What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and today's missing person case is Thailand Kurnia. Also, today's missing person case is Destiny. Today's missing person case is Haley Bible. Also, today's missing person case is Isabel Grace. Also, today's missing person case is Alexa Ware. Today's missing person case is Also, today's missing person case is Aaron Teresa Lawrence. Today's missing person case is Jessica Marshik from What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and today's video What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. We've got a great show scheduled today. We have a special guest, Gisela K from Grizzly True Crime, who I am going to introduce right now. What's up, Gisela? How are you?
What's up, Chris and Mob Crew? I'd say it's a mob of grizzlies and monsters
Yes.
now. Awesome trailer.
Thank you. Yes, so I've got a lot of stuff. I went out and filmed a lot of reenactments. I've got about 10% of all the footage that I filmed because there's still a lot I still got to go through. But today I thought we'd go and look at some of the different outfits that BG could have been wearing. So I thought we'd go through that, and then we'd discuss a little bit about the Kleins, and then the differences between the two posters, because there's a lot of confusion in that, and then whatever else we can tap into at the end. So I'm super stoked.
Yes.
And thank you so much, Tom, for your $10 donation. He says, hi, Mob Crew. So guys, bear with me. As you guys know, I'm on StreamYard, and I'm typically a little out of my comfort zone, but I think I've been practicing, so hopefully we can get this going smoothly. So let me quickly add this so we can see. So I thought before we play the video, I thought we'd just quickly recap the timeline for those that maybe, seems like there's always like new people that come into my channel and have not heard this case. So, you know, we like to spread awareness about this case. So thought we'd just go over just a basic timeline, and then we'll get into my reenactment. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So on February 13th of 2017, two girls, Abby and Libby, it was a Monday. They didn't have school that day. It was a makeup snow day. So last minute, they decided they wanted to go to the Monon High Bridge. And so Libby's sister, Kelsi, took them to the Monon High Bridge at approximately 1:40 and dropped them off. And they parked at what they call the Mears parking lot, which is kind of like a shortcut to the 501 trail. And that this 501 trail just kind of takes you right to the bridge. And so she drops off the two girls and leaves. And so it's just Abby and Libby. And then they get to about the second platform at about 2:05. And they take their first photo of the direction they're heading, which is southeast. And then at 2:07 is the kind of famous Snapchat photo where Liberty is on platform 3, looking back at the direction they came from, and takes a picture of Abby. And then sadly, we learned through recent documents that this photo or this video that's taken is at 2:13. So they encounter this guy at 2:13, so 6 minutes later. And so lucky Libby was smart enough to pull out her phone because she felt something was off and was able to capture this guy on video and get some audio recording. And here's just one clip from the audio here, and then we'll definitely break down this audio as well here in the.
I can't hear that. I hope everyone else can.
Yeah, this site. So anyway, that's okay. I've got a much better version and much louder version, so we'll play that in the video I have. So anyway, the father was Liberty's father was supposed to pick them up in an hour or two. He shows up at about 3:14. He calls Liberty's phone, but does. Oh, that's right. You guys can't hear it because I'm sharing screen. That's right. So that's okay. We got the video of it. So at 3:14, Derek shows up and calls Liberty's phone, but the phone rings, but no answer. Sadly, he goes down the trail. He meets up with what they call Flannel Shirt Guy, who is one of the McCain brothers. He asks, hey, have you seen the girls? And McCain was coming back from the 501 trail, and he says, no, I didn't see anybody. I saw like a couple arguing under the bridge, I believe, he says. And so sadly, instead of going down the 501 trail, Derek goes down the 505 trail, which kind of forks off kind of down below. And so anyway, he couldn't find them. He ends up calling the parents of Abby. And so they start a search, and then that turns into kind of a big search for the girls overnight. And then sadly, they don't find them the first day. They call off the search around midnight because a lot of them are volunteers. And then the next day they start the search again real early. And sadly, they would find their bodies just on the other side of the creek, about approximately 50 feet from the creek there. So, and all we have is this little 1 second clip of this guy walking on the bridge, and then obviously the audio that we all know of. And so this is not my first time doing a reenactment of Bridge Guy, but I kind of wanted to go out because the first time I did it, I went and I just went to like a thrift store and I just bought like, whatever I could find. And so they didn't have a brown hoodie, so I got like a maroon hoodie, and they didn't have a fanny pack, so I had to get a purse, the famous purse you guys have all seen. And so so this time around, I went out and I bought the iPhone 5 that the girl Libby had. I bought a blue windbreaker. I bought a brown hoodie, a brown fanny pack. I went out, I did the works so I could really, try to recreate this, this kind of bridge walk. So we'll put this aside and we will start the video, okay, so now everybody can see. So I did on this video that I'm going to show you guys, I think there's about maybe 10 controlled tests. I have like probably 50 of them, but I just wanted to show some of the better ones. And now, of course, I'm not on a bridge because one of the problems I had was the bridge that we were filming on just goes south. And, the problem is they're going southeast, and the sun doesn't quite hit me the way it would if I was trying to actually reenact it, correctly. So So this first run, I've got my green hat, blue jacket, and my brown fanny pack, and white rope. And so, as you can see here, and I started about 75 feet away. Now, apparently, he was about approximately 70 feet away. So I start at 75 feet, and then I kind of come in and I kind of go the direction he goes, looking down. But one of the things that I was trying to, let me just go back just a little bit. Let me pause it. Is trying to recreate this, what looks like a rope or scarf. What do you, when you've seen this, I'm sure you've seen it a million times. What do you think? Just Gisela from just.
I mean, there's so many. I mean, I could literally watch this endlessly. I can't believe they only released 1 second as well, because apparently it's 43 seconds of footage or so. But it sometimes looks like one of those, like a neck gaiter, like a.
Yes.
I think that's called a neck gaiter. It looks like a neck gaiter, maybe even with some sort of design on it, maybe like teeth or a skull or something white.
Yes.
Or I just don't know. It's just so confusing to look at. And
yes.
I mean, I can't wait to see all your reenactments.
So I just saw Rainbow Bright. Yes, that you make a great argument. So yes, 2 witnesses saw somebody covering their face with a scarf. So and I did wear a scarf as well, but we'll get to that. But so for this first run, I definitely think with the fanny pack, it kind of blends in just like it would. The hats, with the bill, to me, as we go on, I don't think if there was a bill, it would have been a short bill. It wouldn't have been like a baseball cap bill, which is, much longer. And I've got the hats here that we'll kind of go through. So the one that I used here, just to kind of show you guys, is this here. Oh, so as you can see, oh, wow.
Disappearing in the green screen.
So, yeah. So as you can see, it's got a fairly big bill on it. So here's the first run. And so this rope as well, what I'm using is, now I didn't have rope at the time, but this is literally the same exact diameter. It's actually cable, but it's the same thickness as rope. So that's what I have coming out of my shirt or my jacket there. But it kind of recreates it pretty well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. Now we go to glasses. And as you can see, in my opinion, can you see the glasses? What do you think from there? Let me kind of put it where I have my head down. What do you think?
Well, firstly, the quality of the iPhone is good, right? So you kind of pixelated this to mimic how it looks for Bridge Guy. So I mean, it doesn't look like he would have glasses, right? Is that what you think? I can see that.
I don't think he has glasses. No, but somebody wanted me to wear them, and I'll get to that why in a bit. But yes, I thought, well, let's see. Can you tell if there's glasses if it's from that far away? Yeah. And then the rope, here, everything's the same outfit. Well, actually, no, I've got the brown hoodie as well. Now, as you can see, the brown hoodie fits just as well. We'll play Bridge Guy here in just a second again. And I've got the gun in the right coat pocket. There's a few things I do. Now, this one's interesting, and I'll tell you here in a second for 2 reasons. So I was trying to recreate the scarf. I was trying to do it like you would naturally do it. You'd throw your scarf around. The problem is trying to recreate that loop that would look kind of like, let's see if I can get it on screen, like this, where it's sticking out kind of right here, which you were talking about, a gaiter. That was kind of difficult to do with the scarf. And so I have 2 theories on that. If that's the scarf, is either he just took it off and then kind of stuffed it down, and somehow that was kind of like, you just had the loop kind of like that, which is kind of weird. Right. As you can see, with the scarf around my neck, it really kind of sticks out. But here we got the brown hoodie, which kind of flows with where it kind of, I made it kind of tucked in a little bit. So, you got this here. Oh, let me back up. This is one more thing why I wanted to, everything is the same, but there's one thing I'm doing different in this one, is the gun placement. Now, I actually have the gun
I was gonna ask, do you have a gun?
I had the gun.
Like that.
It's not a
Okay.
real gun. It's an airsoft gun. But I had the gun under the coat, not in the brown hoodie, but under the coat, ready to pull out. Because, and I'll get that, and I'll show my final clip. I do it, but Tom Ann says, was video actually pulled from the cell phone or Snapchat? Could this explain the poor quality? And I will. That's a great question, Tom, and I have an answer for you. And we will get to that in a little bit. So yeah, so I have the gun this time under the coat, walking, and I think this matches up pretty well. If you just go from, you're just looking at this part here, not worrying about the top. Now just kind of looking at that, I know it's not zoomed in, but it kind of looks like he could have it maybe not in his hoodie and not in his coat pocket, but actually kind of just under the blue windbreaker, almost like he's ready to pull it out.
Yeah.
So playing it here more. So like I said, this is the same one now. I just have it in the coat pocket, but as you can see, it don't look as matches up when I have it just in the coat pocket, because someone asked me to do that. So I'm like, but as you can see, his hand's much, in my opinion, lower than it is in the coat. And now someone asked me, because some people think, oh, well, he just had a hoodie on. So I thought I would try that. But I think you can clearly tell it's not the brown hoodie. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not the brown hoodie. I agree. Wow. This is amazing that you did this. Oh, my word.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, this is like 10% of, I've got so much. So this is, now we are back to the cap. Okay, without the glasses, the rope, and the brown hoodie again. Gun placement is back in the coat pocket, just to see if I could try to recreate it. It kind of looks a little better, but like I said, his hand really looks like it's more down towards the like almost like it's going into the pocket of the brown.
I don't know. Just exaggerate it.
That's my cousin Nick. He was the one filming. So this time I tried putting the gun into the brown hoodie to see how that would turn out. Well, thank you, T-Flower. But once again, it doesn't look right. The rope looks kind of more,
Yeah.
But like I said, it doesn't look right with the gun in here. So now to one of my closest ones. I think this is one of my more favorite ones. Now, this is what I was telling you, where I had to take instead of having it just wrapped around my neck, the scarf, I actually, what I did is I just stuffed it down, and then I just try to kind of cause that loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so here we go. And then once again, I've got the gun under the coat, not in the coat pocket, but under the coat.
Mm-hmm. That looks more like it, yeah.
It does.
Wow.
Yeah, and we'll actually, let me go back just so it goes right into it. And then, of course, I've got the ivy hat. And then,
Were you getting hot as well? Because like this guy must have been dressed really warmly for the day.
Oh, it was 80 degrees. I was sweating so bad. Yes, but anything for science. And so just for those that are wondering, this is an ivy hat. It has no bill on it. I think, like I said, I don't know why it disappears like that. I think either he was wearing an ivy hat or they even forget the other one, but the one with the short bill, I still think they call it ivy hat, but I think maybe a short bill on it or no bill, in my opinion. So now we're back to the fanny pack. Ivy hat. Once again, I put the scarf around my neck, but I cannot recreate that loop. Like I said, I cannot recreate that loop that's just kind of really tiny.
Yeah.
Then this one's the same. I just put, obviously the last one, I had the gun in my hoodie. This time I have it in the pocket, but like I said, it don't match up in my opinion. And this is one that I feel is a lot closer, except I did another one with the just the hoodie, no hat. But clearly, it's in my opinion, it don't. I think I got the rope pretty good, but with the hoodie, I don't think it's that. So now moving on to Ron Logan. So what did you think about the Ron Logan stuff that came out?
I think now at this point, 5 years later, people are trying to almost kind of like find anything, because I think we're all frustrated whether we're covering the case or following the case. It doesn't matter. It's just like, whoa, 5 years. And it's just all this mystery, even what the police, of course, say. We're like, what is it? So now when it's like, oh my word, we found this document, and now there's a search warrant, of course, it's going to be like, what? And we'll get in a frenzy, which is interesting, but they would, of course, have looked at him first because their bodies were found on his property. That makes sense, and he lied about his alibi, so I get it.
Yes.
But then there was no arrest made, so like that is what the police would do, look at him first. I don't personally think it's Ron Logan, even though he was a little shady and he lied and he made up this alibi. Still, if it was him, why would he just leave them on his property like that? That makes no sense.
Right. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's
but yeah, he dresses like Bridge Guy, or more accurately, Bridge Guy dresses like him.
Great. That is a great point. Excellent point. Thank you so much, Bella, for the $4.99 sticker. Thank you so much. And Michelle says, I think Chris nailed it. Thank you, guys. Like I said, this is just a small portion of what I filmed. I'll show you guys the madness that I've got to go through if we get a little bit of time. So let me catch up on the chat here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. We've got 300 in here. You guys are so awesome. Like I said, I've got a lot of interesting stuff to go over. Okay, so a lot of people wanted me to do it, so I dressed up as Ron Logan. So let's see. So he's got this white mustache. He's got glasses. So let's see if it's Ron Logan. Okay, here we go. Now, I do this 2 times. I go with the regular ball cap. I go with the glasses. I go with the mustache. I go with the rope, which I think the rope really, is the closest I've been able to nail whatever is coming out of his jacket there. But just as you can see from 75 feet away, even when I pixelated this, you can see the mustache. What do you think?
You can definitely see it looks kind of funny right now.
And yes, and so if you guys are wondering, I had to get a fake mustache, and it was just a cheap one, and it wasn't like a Velcro or whatever. So I had this Gorilla Glue it to my upper lip, and it was not fun. Bill says got milk. Oh yeah, I should have just done that. Bill, where were you that day? Oh my gosh, you're a genius. That's funny. Good comment. Very good comment. All right, so let's play the clip here. Like I said, and the reason why, as you can see, I'm going at different angles is I'm trying to, I'm kind of like going wide and into it. Because like I said, I'm starting at 75 feet, kind of winding into that 70 feet range that the cameras, from where they supposedly, the distance between the girls and Bridge Guy's video. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, clearly mustache. Even if I got it a shade darker, which I think, his is probably a slight shade darker, I think it'd still show up.
Glasses? No. Mustache? No. Right?
Yeah. And then I do the backwards ball cap, just why not try it a second time just to see. But so I think this is a pretty good argument to say this is for those that might have been on, still thinking it was Ron Logan. I think this is not saying this is proof that it wasn't him. This is just an argument to say why it's good possibility it wasn't him. So now, as you can see, this is without it being pixelated and we'll get to why I had to pixelate everything, because like I said, I had an iPhone 5, exactly what Libby had. And one of the first things I realized is I'm like, the quality is fine. why is the quality so bad with
Yes.
Bridge Guy? And we'll I have an answer for that, and we'll get into that in a minute. So, but I think this is what, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I think this is how he approached the girls. This is just my opinion. Let me know what you think. And this is why the video is so short. Is this right there?
Damn.
Oh. So I think we'll go back a little bit because I guess I kind of cut it off just slightly too short, but that's okay. We'll play that one more time. I think like the clip starts about like right now. And what you're seeing is just like 1 second before he pulls his gun out. And that's why we can't see any more of that clip, in my opinion. That is just my opinion. But I think, let me just trying to find one clip. I think he's about to brandish the weapon, and that's why he's there. We're not getting any more of this, even though they could just show us the video without the audio, out of the respect of the family. Because clearly he's still in the frame, and we know it's 43 seconds at least. So, and until that phone goes into our pocket, he would still be in screen for maybe another second or two. You know what I mean? So why couldn't they show a few more seconds? There might be something in another second or two that we could totally see. And so that's just my opinion. I encourage everybody to do their own research, but this is why I'm doing this, is to help people. Yes. And I'm going to put a lot of this stuff out there for sure. And yeah, to help. So moving.
Yeah, it was a really good job debunking that BG's Ron Logan, because there's no glasses and there's no mustache. So, wow. That is the best argument I've heard so far. I'm like, well, where's the mustache? Because like 2 days later or so, they're like, he's wearing the same jacket.
Oh yeah, he was for those. Yeah, that you. Thank you.
Did he grow out the mustache in 2 days?
Thank you. He was interviewed on the 14th, I believe. That on the next day.
Wow, the next day.
There's no way he could have.
No way.
Grown that overnight. Great.
Wow.
Great point. Very great point. So the big question is, why is it so pixelated?
Why? Yes.
So, yes, we will get to it right. Oh. Okay, so as you can see, this is non-pixelated because, like I said, I had to run pixelation filters to do it. So, clearly, they had to have taken this from the iCloud. They had to have. Okay, they didn't take it from the phone. They say they recovered the phone, and they could have. It might have been damaged, but they clearly have taken this from the iPhone, iCloud, excuse me. So we know that just before this incident happened, that they reset that iPhone. Do you remember that, Gisela?
Yes. Factory reset, yeah.
Yes. Yep. So I think so. Now I don't know a lot about iPhones because I'm an Android person. I've never been big on Apple, especially with
Android
being a
people,
YouTuber. Especially
right?
being a YouTuber, Apple. I'm not happy with Apple. So, anyway, so apparently there is a setting. So this is one of the questions that people have, and they're like, "Hello, I enabled the function uploading photos and storage on my iCloud. I have a problem. When I upload photos and videos from my phone to my Instagram stories or send them in messages to someone in an application, the quality of these photos is terrible. It is possible to upload Is it possible to upload original photos and video from iCloud?" And so they're asking the experts at Apple here.
Yeah.
And so 1 second. Coming up. Boop. Okay, so here is the answer. So we are happy to help with your issue. You are having the quality of your we are happy to help you with the issue you're having with the quality of your iCloud photos / videos. Really what it should say. If you turn on download originals, iCloud Photos keeps your original full resolution and videos in iCloud and on your device, which also means your videos and photos. So I think what happened is when they reset that phone, she didn't click that option. And so what happens is it sends it to the cloud, and it ends up what we see with Bridge Guy.
Wow. Okay.
And that is why it is all pixelated. Is that
word.
they did not check this after resetting the phone. And that is too bad that they reset the phone, because we would probably know who the killer is, but years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I would almost say guaranteed, because you've seen the quality of
Yes.
Because this is without it being pixelated, and then so like I said, this is me pixelating it, and this is not pixelated, and so sadly, that's the reason why.
I mean, this problem is 2021 on these emails, so imagine in 2017.
Yep. I was trying to go back to find it,
Wow.
but yeah, there's some setting. I think it's been like that for a long time. I'm sure some iPhone users in the chat could, correct me. But that's basically what it is. Is sadly that one box didn't get checked. And
yeah, I'm just saying, if people still have the problem in 2021, they must have really had some problem in 2017.
Yes.
Oh, my word. So that makes sense, because I also wondered, why is it so pixelated? Did law enforcement do it on purpose, or
right?
Yes, from the cloud. That makes sense.
Right.
Wow.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I've got so much more. Oh my gosh, there's other things that I've uncovered, but that we wouldn't have time to touch on everything. But like I said, I really wanted to explain as much as I could and just help whoever I can. So this is the other thing. Play. It's coming up. So do you know about what's going on here? About this black scene? Okay, let me just play it. Do you know what that is?
I do not know what that is. What is it?
Oh, you don't?
I don't know what it is.
Oh, wow. Okay. I will be happy
I'm just
to
like,
tell
wait,
you. Okay,
Yes.
so oops. So you've got Libby here. You've got Abby standing a little bit ahead of her, but to the left. Now, she is actually slightly comes into frame, and it's part of her coat or shirt. And that is her just slightly coming into frame, kind of like, like, boop. And that's what that is.
Even though her coat was her sweater was like grayish, right?
Yeah, because it's so fast. Because we're looking at, yeah. So it wouldn't be able to. It's just, yep.
Oh my
I'll
word.
play it one more. Oops, nope, don't mute it. Because I thought, and the reason why I'm showing this is I thought this caused the compression or all this pixelation. But I went out there and, like I said, we've got so much to go through that I just don't have time to show you guys everything. But I went out and I had my buddy kind of dip in and out. As I was expecting to have some kind of pixelation or something like this. No, it didn't happen. One time it went out of focus, like completely. But other than that, most of the times it just, it was fine. Because I thought maybe that's what it is. Maybe she's in this screen and we're not really seeing it because it's cropped. And then, of course, she shirt goes all the way into the screen. So they obviously work around that. But so...
Wow.
So there's that. Now we were going to move on to... Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I was going to do that. So now we're going to move on to the audio, which I was talking to you a little bit about the audio last night.
Yeah.
And why there's just so much, why is the audio... because the audio should be fine. If they pulled it off the iCloud, I was looking that up. The audio shouldn't be a problem. Because it's such a small, the audios are such much smaller. It's hard to describe. Even though it's coming off the video, it has less codecs. It shouldn't have been as bad.
Yeah.
So, as for most of you know, guys and down the hill are spliced. Guys is being said when he's on the bridge, and down the hill is when he is now caught up to the girls and now escorting them out. Escorting him on the gravel. So now, why guys is so? Because when you hear it, we'll play it. Oh, guys. A lot of, in the background. So what that is they're on the bridge, and you probably could answer this question because you probably know a lot about like aerodynamics, I would assume, or some degree. Or did you have to
possibly to some degree, but not much with sound?
Okay, but you know how
windy.
like, but yeah, so you kind of understand airflow being at high altitudes.
Yeah,
because they're on a bridge. Now you've got a wind factor. Even if it's light wind, it's still, when you're on a bridge, it's going to cause that sound. And so I am going to play. I recorded somebody that's kind of on a high bridge with the windy, what it sounds like. Guys. Okay, so before I did that, I recorded myself about approximate location of when he says guys. As you can see, it's clear as day. You can tell it's my voice. Guys. I jumped forward. Guys. So mine doesn't have that in it.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to play the sound of kind of a wind. You kind of hear it now?
Yeah.
Kind of,
okay, yeah.
Now, obviously,
the weather that day, was it kind of windy? It would be on the bridge in general, but was it kind of windy on the day?
I'm not sure the exact wind. I was going to look that up, and I got sidetracked. But I know there was a light wind. It wasn't like super windy or anything, but I believe there was a light gust.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is why guys is got that distortion in it. That is him still up on the bridge, and you're getting, because the phone is still out, and you're high up on this bridge, and you're getting wind. Oh, you're looking that up. You're awesome.
You could see me typing.
Guys. Okay, so now you're looking that up, so I'll wait for you just a second.
I'm just trying to find.
The trees aren't moving from the wind. Yeah, but the trees don't need to be moving for a small wind gust. And you got to remember, when you're on a bridge, it changes airflow. That's why I was wondering if Gisela could answer that. Because, when you're kind of high up on an altitude, even if it isn't very windy, it creates...
definitely the wind speed increases.
Yes.
Every however many, 10 feet or so, 100 feet or so, we look at 100 feet or so. But it definitely does. From the ground level upward, the wind speed increases.
Yeah, that's why when you see somebody up on the roof, it's like, oh, why is it so windy? And then, I'm sure the person down on the ground is like, has no idea. It just, it's, yeah.
And on this day, let's see, on Monday. Okay, it was 4 kilometers per hour. So that's not very much. I don't know what that is in miles. But if they're at altitude, which the bridge's height is, I can't remember it now. I had it before.
180 feet?
180 feet. So if it's 4 kilometers an hour, I mean, it could be maybe, so let's try to do that in miles per hour, right? So let's say if it was 8 kilometers to miles.
Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I don't know. I have 180 in my mind.
45 miles an hour? I mean, it would be really? A little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that 40, that's pretty, so definitely, for sure. So now going to down the hill. So, because like I said, we recreated, I had my buddy put the phone in his pocket, pretended to be Libby, and I approached him saying down the hill. I thought, okay, how, is it going to sound exactly like me? Is it going to be kind of distorted? So let's see how that turns out. Now, obviously, with down the hill, there is more distortion going on, and we'll explain what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the trail is a kind of is this gravel. Now they've changed it. Now it's all paved, but in 2017 it's gravel. So he's escorting them, and you're hearing 3 people all walking on gravel while he's saying down the hill, and so that's going to cause a lot of distortion. And that's just a recording of somebody walking on some gravel.
Down the hill. Down the hill.
So that's me just saying down the hill without walking on gravel, just to see. And as you can see, down the hill sounds like me. Not much of a difference.
Down the hill. Down the hill.
Should have probably turned
Down the
up
hill.
But you can kind of hear the distortion. I should have
Yeah.
probably turned up the gravel walk a little bit. Now I'm just realizing that, but we're not perfect. But yeah, if I would have probably cranked that up a little bit more, especially to compensate for 3 people, because it was just me and him. So you've got 3 people walking on that gravel. That's going to cause, down the hill. So that
And
is
why
what
why
that
did
is.
they pave it since? Why is it now paved? Do they not
That's-
want people to reenact it to figure that out? I don't know.
I
You
don't
figured it out
know.
right here.
You know what? I don't know if they paved the other end. They paved the trail going to the bridge. I don't know if they paved the other
Interesting.
end though. So that's a good question.
Should we go there and find out?
I would love to. Oh my gosh, I would.
Same.
Yes, because I would just love to do all the different experiments.
Mm-hmm.
Downhill. And then to me, it's just playing somebody walking in gravel. Okay, so that goes for our first part. Well, we had about 45 minutes on that. Not too bad.
Nice.
Perfect timing. So yeah, what do you guys think? I've seen most of you say great job. I really appreciate it. And I am so honored to have Gisela here. This is so cool.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Damn.
Honor is all mine. I'm just going through a few comments here. They need to close that bridge, Miss Stewie says.
Not yet. We still want to go there.
Yeah. Thank you. This was great. Yes. And like I said, I've got a lot more research that I am going to be bringing you guys. I've been seeing this a lot, 2 of my favorites. Thank you, Helena. That's so sweet. Thank you, Stefan. So, and thank you, Raina. Oh, there's so many. I wish I could read everybody's. You guys are so awesome in the chat right now. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, I spent a lot of time, and it really means a lot. So, okay, so moving on to the clients. So, what your initial thoughts when this came out? Late November? November.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on it?
It felt like false hope to me because I was like, ooh, here's another. It just doesn't quite. In my gut feeling, it doesn't quite feel like they would fit the profile. Not OBG based on how they look, which I'm sure you're gonna go through, right? not how they look, not how they are, just the timing. Even though the Anthony Shots profile, interesting.
Very interesting.
I just don't know. It just felt like another mystery, honestly.
Yes.
Oh man.
There we go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, here we go again.
Yeah.
We've been down many in this case before, and here we go again. That's what it feels like, yeah.
But quickly, thank you, Bill, for your $5 super sticker. That really helps me out, buddy, because like I said, this is my full-time job, and you guys are the ones that support me, and everything you guys send in, it really helps. And then everything, 35% goes right back to the animals at Humane Society, which will do pet time, and I've got a new donation dance for you guys. So excited to show you guys. I do that for you guys and for the pets. So, but back to the Kleins. It was kind of like false. What you said, kind of like false hope, because like here they release. Oh well, we need information on Anthony Schott's account, and it felt like, oh my gosh, at the time it's just 4 years. There's finally progression.
Yeah, so it's like taken forever to get to that point. Wow, that could have been on day one. Could have.
Yes. Have you ever seen this photo? This is Tony.
I've never seen this photo.
Oh, okay. So this is Tony. This is the sister, the half sister.
Yeah.
This is Bart, the half brother.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Kagan.
Wow.
So I don't know if you heard the story about how she broke her leg.
Yeah.
Because he scared her. Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so messed up. So yeah, we won't go touch too much onto the history, but it was ugly. Tony is definitely not a good dude, and his son is a million times worse. And I just saw a donation. Thank you so much, Hologram, for your super sticker. So let's, those stories that came out from that podcast were quite disturbing.
Oh,
so now, the last time I did a poll, which is, I would say, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I asked my chat, I'm like, how much do you guys think that one of the Kleins are involved? And I remember it being about 70 or 80% still believe that one of the Kleins are involved somehow.
Somehow is the important word there, because somehow it's almost like maybe this is getting a step closer, but it still doesn't quite feel like this is BG. I don't know. It feels like there could have been a group, or I don't know what is going on, but it feels like just the next door to open, right?
Yes. So as you can see, I've got Tony Klein, Keegan Klein. They're matched up to both the sketches. I personally don't think they look anything alike. I've seen a lot of different channels match the faces up. But the thing is, and I did this in some other live show where I was matching faces up to this young guy sketch with celebrities. And it's super hard to match this because the jawline is just so unique on this sketch. And I was having a tough time matching. And so I've seen a lot of people match like Tony and I think even Keegan to this young guy sketch. But it's real easy when you're using Microsoft Paint because you can literally, scale it and skinny, wide, and make it fit, You can make any fit next to the sketch if you really wanted to. And then people think, oh gosh, he looks like the sketch or he matches. But really they're not being honest. They're kind of tweaking it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then you can literally match almost anyone, to these sketches.
Yeah.
And I mean, Superintendent Doug Carter said it would, when they catch the guy, it would more likely be a combination of the two. He even did that with his hand, which is also interesting.
Yep. And I have that interview. If we get time, we'll play that little clip because that's interesting. So just quick argument for why I don't think so. So Keegan Klein, now when he was arrested, he said he was 6 feet. And when I was playing a video from Open Secrets, when she was looking into Garrett Kirk's, she had noticed because he had been booked into several different counties and each one had a different height, a different weight. And apparently when they get booked into jail, they either go off the ID or just what they tell them. They don't measure them. They don't weigh them. They just go off of whatever they tell them. So I'm sure with him saying he was 6'1" when he was incarcerated with this 2020 thing, I don't think so. I still think he's at least 5'10", but I don't think he's 6'1". Weight, I just put 275, which is around what I think he was during that time. So I don't think, his shape fits BG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I'm going to play here just a minute. And then I've got these sketches. I've got one more. I think I put the dads up. And then Tony Klein. So Tony Klein, when you see photos, and I saw you go through one of your videos where you went through like his Facebook profile, I believe, and he's stands next to a lot of people, and he's always kind of towering over them.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say he's at least probably 6 feet, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably. He looks pretty tall compared to everyone else, as you say.
Yeah. So I think, the argument here is that he's just a little too tall. But I know a lot. And then let's see. Let me go forward. I think I've got some more here. And then the voice matches. So now what's just crazy is Keegan's voice actually kind of matches to the sound. I'm sure you've heard it, right?
Yeah.
Your thoughts on it?
I mean, yeah, it kind of does. Definitely more than his dad.
Yeah, and so you heard the dad one too?
Yeah.
Yeah, his dad's got a lot softer, you know. Mm-hmm,
so it kind of does, yeah. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Damn.
So moving on a little bit. And of course, BJ saw, and I put some good reasons why and good reasons why not, just to kind of go over both sides of the argument,
Mm-hmm.
And just to touch on a couple of why they could be is that they were living approximately 30 miles or 30 minutes from Delphi. Their alibi is not the best. They're supposedly watching WWE, which was supposedly on the night before. They could have recorded it and just been watching it on a Monday. Let's see, what's another good one? Tony was considered peeping Tom, and we know Keegan was, even worse. One of the big ones is Keegan on his Facebook post said that he was becoming a blackjack dealer in Vegas the day of the murders. That was very odd.
Yeah. Very odd, yeah.
That was a big one. And it looked like he changed it twice. Like I don't know. Did you ever notice that? Like, it looked like it had been altered a couple times.
Yeah, and I was watching Neville's True Crimes video as well when he said he's creeping on the creeper on Facebook, which is Tony Klein. And he was also saying when he said, my son's just gone to Vegas, like the date's completely off. It's just it's a blatant lie.
Yeah, he said he was supposedly out there for months, and then it comes to find out he went out there for a couple weeks or something like that.
Yeah, so those are all red flags for sure.
Yeah, agree. And then some good reasons why not. So Keegan was an indoors guy from what Bart says. He wasn't an outdoors type. So I can't see him chasing down two girls, going across the river and chasing them up this steep bank. I just don't think, And then neither of them match, the description to the sketches, in my opinion. And then Keegan was also told by law enforcement they don't believe he's the killer. And then Keegan's MO don't fit the end results of the crime scene. That makes sense. The end results, like you would think if that was him, he would have essayed,
Yeah.
So, so yeah, that's some of my top arguments is why and why not. I'm sure there's many, many more that probably people could top me on.
Top one being no arrests were made, like Ron Logan. If it was them at that point, wouldn't they have arrested them by now? I would hope so.
Yes. So here, what are your thoughts on the two sketches?
It's very odd to release two sketches when you already have the video and the audio. And then to tell everyone all the time, the sketches mean nothing. Do not do side-by-side comparisons. It's like, okay, so what's the point of the sketches then? It's like we changed our strategy completely. And you didn't think we would, but we did. I'm like, what does that even mean? So I don't know, but I did find it interesting that Doug Cotter said, and he did that with his hand, if you put the two together, like that would be, the killer would be a combination of the two. That was interesting to me.
Yeah,
I'll not forget it because I'm like, oh, it's not one or the other. It's kind of a combination.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah. So now I don't know if you saw my video, and I would because I know being a YouTuber, it's hard to watch other people's content.
Do my best to watch a lot of your videos.
Yeah, it's so Well, I wouldn't hold it against you when you're now you're juggling 2 channels. Oh, I don't know how you have the time to, do your hair. I mean, you know what I mean? Anything. So that's amazing. You put that amount of time and effort into everything. It's awesome. So I did a video. Have you heard of the captain?
Yes.
Okay, I love him. It's so crazy because before I was a YouTuber, one of the first probably YouTubers that I watched that covered Delphi was him, the captain.
Yeah.
And I have complete respect for him. And anyway, he kind of introduced a theory about that this young guy sketch could have came from a combination of phenotyping and a witness. And I thought it was kind of interesting because it kind of brings the argument as why would this witness supposedly that wasn't that close to this, it's either the young girl or the girl with the dogs. It's either one of those that created this sketch, but yet supposedly they weren't that close to him, but yet they're able to say that he didn't have blue eyes. It's kind of weird.
That's weird.
So yeah, I did a video on that, just kind of expanding on his, his theory, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then just for those that may not know, this sketch came from 2 witnesses at least, and I don't know if Flannel Shirt Guy was involved in it. I know he recanted, so I guess you could just say it's just 2. But they said that they saw a man with a scarf over his face. And so this first sketch was a combination of the witnesses and the video. So hence why you've got the hat and you've got the hoodie here.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. But what's interesting, which I find so weird, why, if his face is covered, right? Why has this one got the mustache and goatee, yet this witness claims he had a thin red goatee and mustache, but yet he doesn't have anything on? What's
like? It's just like what exactly?
So crazy.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So, very confusing.
It is very confusing. One day I hope we will know what they know. That card is always like, one day you will know what we know. Like, I really hope so.
Yes, I know.
Oh, man.
Okay, so let's see. I play the video. I think. Oh, just kind of showing the 2 sketches. Oh, this is probably where I was explaining the 2 sketches. That's why I provided this. But yeah, it is just kind of weird that, no, I could see, 2 different witnesses seeing the same guy. One guy comes in dressed up as everything. You got, so here, I put on this, hat. Hopefully it don't disappear on me, and I cover my face. I look like, maybe, 40. And then, okay, well, I wish you guys would say that I look 20 right now. That would really help
didn't
me.
Look 40.
So I could see, certain people like Garrett Kirks. I talked about him in my previous live where, yes, I could see where if he was covered up, he would look like a 40-year-old. And he was only like 18 at the time. And so, and then someone seeing him dressed up, and then, let's say the murder happens and then somebody else sees a person leaving and he's kind of taking some of that stuff off. And that's why you've got these 2 sketches. Could make sense.
But also, there were a lot of people out there that day, not? They said
so.
So
Kelsi, and she's got a little bit of heat for this, but she said when she dropped her sister off, she had been quoted once as saying that she said that there was at least 10 to 20 people there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think she changed that number, not significantly, but just a little bit. I can't remember if it was up or down, but she did change it a little bit. But she said that she'd seen people, when they came in, she saw people.
So these sketches could literally be anyone. It
True.
Could just be anyone who was there that day. Because I still wonder how, if they crossed the creek, how is this guy? Is he going to recross it and come back? Or where are they seeing him exactly,
Yeah. Main man, anyone else having trouble with sound? You can't hear us? I think good. Everybody else is. We're good, buddy. Check your settings, buddy.
Yeah, refresh.
Oh, yeah, refresh. There you go.
Yeah.
Ain't that. So, okay, I'm gonna take a sip. All right, so anyway, this is the description, and will put. I always put the details in the email if you have any tips, obviously. So I'll leave that in the email at the end of the video for anybody that's new to the case. All we need to do is get this witness sketch out to that right person or the voice to that right person to solve this case.
Yes.
So let's see what else. Okay. So let's do our missing persons and then we'll do halftime.
Oh yes.
Hurry up. Okay. So I hope I don't butcher this. This is a tough name for me. So this is Fatima Al Jaryawi.
Jiryabi. I don't know. I'm just.
Oh, can you pronounce it?
I would say Fatima Al Jiryabi, but I don't know.
That sounds amazing. So she is 14 years old, 5'2", black hair, brown eyes, missing from Holiday, Florida. She just went missing a few days ago on the 2nd of June. Let's see. She's supposedly a missing / runaway.
Oh.
And she was last seen around 7 p.m. on the 2nd of June in Fernwood Drive area of Holiday. So that is Holiday, Florida. So if anybody's out there watching right now in that area or in Florida, keep a lookout for her. Just 14 years old.
A little bit of map time going on here. We got some maps going on here.
Ooh.
I was just looking for myself, like, where is it?
Oh, Holiday, Florida?
Yeah, I'm just looking.
Yeah, I've never heard of Holiday,
side.
Florida, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, and now this one is from my hometown, Lucin, Utah. 19 years old. There's a $20,000 reward. I am kind of keeping my ears to the ground, hoping if they do another search, I might actually go and join that search. So, yeah, he's only 19. He just went missing on the 25th of May. So that's almost 2 weeks.
Wow.
So, yeah, wearing jeans, dark shirt, and flannel jacket. So I know I got some fans out there, some viewers from Utah. So if you're in close to Lucin, Utah, keep an eye out for him. Dylan Rounds.
Okay.
So did you find where Holiday was?
Yeah, I found it.
Ooh.
So it's north of Sarasota. It's on the
here,
west
let me
side.
pull up. Okay, I'm getting better at this. Here we go.
Oh, my bad. Now I got to move it over. Hold on. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
Doing a little browse around. Wait, let's just try to move it across. So,
yep,
I mean, of course, from the Petito case, we know all about 4343 Wabasa Avenue. Right? The laundry's home. So it's north of that.
Oh, okay.
Holiday is like here. Oh, sorry. Here.
Interesting.
Yeah. Map time. They were like, map time.
Yeah, map time.
Map time on the Mob Crew. Mob Crew show.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Bella, for your $4.99 super sticker. You're awesome. Thank you so much. So, okay. Oh, sorry.
Sarasota's here. Where we all know where that is.
Uh-huh.
And so it's just north of that. If anyone is out in that area, then they know.
Oh, yeah, right there. Just kind of close to the coastline there.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so somebody just said, and I just lost that. Angela says, Holiday is a suburb of Tampa. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Wow. So, okay. Okay, so I've got you up there. All right, so we're going to try to do this without messing up. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to do pet time and then the donation dance.
So exciting.
Oh, yes. Hope you are. Okay. So, yeah. All right, so I've got about 10 pets. So we don't have too much time. So we've got, this is from Michelle, who I believe is in here with us. This is Tawny. Beautiful dog with a nice little scarf or a little something on there. Handkerchief.
Cute.
Oh, thank you so much, Brad, for your $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, buddy. And then we've got, this is one of my favorites. This is from April. This is Monkey with a little boat, a little
that is so cute. He's a little corporate cat.
He is. And I love black cats like that. I'm a sucker for black kitties.
Same.
So thank you so much, Barry, for your $2 super sticker. You guys are awesome.
He's so cute.
Oh yeah. I would say that's one of my faves. Then this comes from C. Wise, who I know is in here. This is Mooney and Maisie. Just kind of cuddled up together. Beautiful. Little tabbies, I believe.
Cute.
Then this is from me. This is Aster. This is my little futon right now. And he's just hanging out. This is my kitties are usually I'm sitting right here. This would be me like, can you see my mouse? Oh, you can't. You can't see my mouse? Oh, okay. So anyway, I'd be sitting kind of just next to her with my chair.
Cute.
And then this is from Jill, a tuxedo cat. Oh my God, it's the cutest thing ever. The big fluffy cats. I would just use them as a pillow. And yeah, this is Fat Floyd, she calls him. Beautiful.
So cute.
And this comes from Kid. This is Whiskers.
Wow.
Beautiful colors. Very beautiful. Yes. And any of you guys want to have your pets featured in a future show, just email me. Put your YouTube name if you can, and then your pet's name, so I can shout you out and get the name of the pet right. Yes. Thank you so much, Laura Tompkins, for your $5 super chat. You're awesome. One more for me. This is Maggie, who is like a goat. She'll eat anything. And then this is Stanley, who is a lab mixed with a poodle, so he's a labradoodle.
Cute. Oh my word. So cute.
And then this is from Michelle. This is Spirit. And I think Michelle's in here. Yeah, Michelle from Dragon Lock Works. Beautiful.
Wow.
Who's that? Who is that?
Oh no, you got Fury here. My cat, everyone.
We had that Fury in here.
So cute.
I've never seen a cat like that's so crazy how he's got it.
What?
That is so cool. Is that little? Is that just like a little pup? Like what is?
Yeah,
this?
It's like a little catnip-filled mouse. So
oh yes, they love the.
He found it very interesting. This was one of the first days that I actually had him. He was like, "Whoa,
are you
what
serious?
is that?" Yeah, so cute.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Then we got from Lindsay. So we got a pug. His name is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obviously, they're big fans of Harry Potter and Star Wars. Then we got from Sandy. This is Penny. Oh, with this little donut.
Oh,
so cute.
I love this pet time.
And that's not a pet. That's me. That's Skinwalker Ranch. All right. All right, guys. For the time you all been waiting for.
Oh, yes. Even I've been waiting all week for this.
Thank you so much, Miss Renee, for your $5 super chat. You guys are so awesome. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, so hide. Okay, so I want to stop screen. I'm still adjusting, guys. I'm still adjusting. Okay. So now we want to do this, and then we want to. Okay, now I hope it restarts over. Okay. Part 2 of the donation dance. This is still a rough draft because there's a few things I need to fix on it, but it's still almost a finished product. So here you guys go. This is for the animals. Oh, my side hurts. That's the first time watching it in full. Okay, like I said, don't try that at home. You might get hurt. I hurt myself. Yes, we have donated well over $700. We have donated about $800 now. I actually just donated another 50 out of the 300. So, and then some of those donations we sent in have been matched. So we have donated well over, I would say, $1,000, $1,500 easy. So stoked. Thank you guys that were donating. I'm sorry I didn't get everybody. We got Laura Thompson as a new member. Thank you so much, Miss Renee, for your $1.49 sticker. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, we do it for the animals.
We love it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, my side hurts. Okay, I was watching your reaction.
Right.
Okay.
Just see like cracking up.
Yes.
That old man dancing in the background. Oh my.
Oh yeah, I found him. Yeah, he throws his
wow.
He throws his things and he goes at it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
He's really into it.
I gotta learn from him. I do.
Right. We're still waiting for my impression. You were gonna do one of me. You have to do like, oh my word.
Yes. We'll get there.
Oh,
we'll get there.
This is so hectic.
Yes. Thank you, Johnny. The Grizz and Grizz show. That's
nice.
how he says it.
We like that.
Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, somebody said the mob of grizzlies. That's my favorite so far. Okay, so let's talk real quick. Let's find it real quick. So where are we at? We're at 116. So we'll go for about another 15 minutes. Let's play that little clip.
Yes.
I think it's this one.
Has gone unsolved for 5 years now. All this time trying to.
So, Okay. Almost there. Okay, good old Carter. All right, he's not going to answer any questions, but yet he answers one of the biggest questions. But he doesn't really answer it. But he does. I mean, I guess he kind of does. Oh, oops! I got to.
Next here on Prime.
Pleasure to be with you, Barney.
I was listening closely to your interview with our reporter, Rich McHugh, and at one point you said that the killer is watching and will meet them soon. And I couldn't help but notice you glanced at the camera as though you may have been looking at the killer. What makes you think that they're watching?
Well, I think that even though we're at the 5-year mark, I still believe, even today, that he knows what's happening. He knows what's happening nationally. He knows what's happening locally. He knows who's covering the story and what's being said, and very likely he's even going to be watching this interview tonight. And I want to clear, Marty, I'm not the lead detective, but I represent many of them that are on this case.
And I know there are many working tirelessly. You are front and center on many of the interviews, so I appreciate the clarification. Has the person responsible reached out to you or other investigators directly?
Oh.
They have
Let's
not.
kind of pause it for a minute. Jill and Gisela have something in common.
What? DC is BG in yeah. They saw my red flag for a second. I had it up for just a second.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. That's awesome.
I got my red flag. He just gives me whoa. Everything I've watched about him, I'm like, oh my word, this guy. So my red flag goes up when I watch.
Oh, that's so funny. I love it.
No, they have not.
In terms of the evidence, you say it's important that you don't show your hand. It's been 5 years, and you know the frustration from people who follow this case closely. They want answers. Wouldn't releasing information now, more information that you have, be helpful in producing more tips from the public?
Well, I know there's frustration. I know there's frustration locally, and there's frustration literally from around the world. I receive 25 to 30 tips a week just at my desk here in Indianapolis. So I know that there's frustration, and I know that there is a lot of speculative opinion about what we should do, criticism about what we've done, and how we've handled this up to this point. I would just say to that, Marnie, that this is very, very dynamic. It hasn't slowed down too much over the course of these last few years, and I don't anticipate that it will. So everything is calculated. Has been a strategic process from the very beginning, and I completely support what the investigators have decided to do. They've given their life to this, and I've developed lifelong friendships now with the family of Abby and Libby, and there's no one on the planet that wants to go to them more than me and say, we finally did it.
How much more video and audio evidence do you have?
I'm not going to talk about what we have that we haven't released. The purpose of this was to talk specifically about the human effect of this and what it's caused over the course of these last 5 years.
So before we get to the part that I want to play, what'd you think about how Carter's just kind of shut down over the years, and how, you used to talk about the evidence a little bit, and then over the years just completely, and then this last anniversary, I mean, he just, wasn't having it.
It's just so weird that he's like, it's fun. He did these big press conferences, even one in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's just like, well, now, even more tight-lipped now. I mean, it's just so strange. All the things he says, man, I've analyzed every sentence he said.
Yeah.
Some people hate it. I just am like, whoa, this guy. And he has before, guys, said down the hill. He said it before. Did that before as well. I'm like, oh, my word, say down the hill. But it's just bizarre that he's just like, he to say that he's doing these interviews to talk about the effect, like on society, on like why? That's not why you're doing the interviews. That doesn't make any sense. Let's talk about the effect this case has had. Why? Let's talk about catching the killer.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good
it's
point.
Very interesting.
Good point. Thank you, Miss Renee, for becoming a member. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Somebody else has some red flags. I personally don't think it's Carter, but he might his voice sounds like it, though. I will say that. We did match it up on one of my lives, and it was like, ooh, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, ooh. Exactly, like, ooh, okay, wow, that sounds like it.
Yeah.
But can you confirm there is more evidence out there?
I'm not going to talk about it.
Yes, we have evidence we've not released, and eventually I want to be able to tell the world what we know, and I believe that we will.
There is a report and some court documents that suggest there's up to 43 seconds of video. Can you confirm that?
I can't. I can't. Again, I'm not going to talk about what we know, about what I think. I must talk about what we know, and there are some things that we know that I just simply cannot release.
I understand.
Now we know.
I'd like to talk about these two sketches that were released years apart by investigators. The images have caused quite a bit of speculation, also some confusion. Are there two suspects that you're looking for?
There are not. There are not. I saw some coverage tonight where I saw Becky was interviewed back in 2019 when that was done, and she said tonight it was like a gut punch, and I felt that gut punch tonight because I would never ever intentionally cause that to happen. Again, this is very strategic, and I really believe, Marnie, that eventually we're going to take both of those sketches. Remember, a sketch is not a photograph, but we'll take both of those sketches and we'll put them together, and then remove them, and the killer will be behind them.
So is the sketch Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I was just going to ask, is the sketch, how does the public receive this information? Is the sketch, the ultimate suspect, a combination of these two images put on this body that we're seeing on screen right now?
Yes, I believe that we'll be able to put the two of them together and drop the sketch, and that will be the person responsible for the death of Abby and Libby.
Do you anticipate releasing another sketch, perhaps a third sketch that is more of a cross between the two?
No, I have no intention of that happening. At least that's not what any of the detectives have brought to me or talked about.
So there's what you were talking about.
It's like we'll put them together and then drop them, and then they'll be the killer.
Yeah,
so basically, sketches don't matter at all.
He's just gonna poof and appear. Here he is. There I am.
There he is, right behind those sketches.
Yeah, you just had to kind of take one piece from this. You had to take the nose, then you had to take this eye, and then this hair. Wasn't
it weird how he ran out the room? Like, as in literally, now we will show you the sketches, and then he's like, ran out the room at that press conference.
Oh,
why you got to do that? Just stand there while they release the sketches.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Sunshine says, "Who did it, Gisela and Chris?"
Yeah. Who did it? Well, wow. We wish we knew, right?
Yeah, I've talked about this on my show. I've not really gone much into POIs. I don't think it's law enforcement, but I think it's a good possibility this guy could have been at the very least like a rent-a-cop or something. Because in my opinion, and this just kind of goes on some stuff that's been presented or rumored, excuse me, with, the extended audio about him, and this goes into the leaker text, if they're true or not. But if they are true, they talk about how he says, in between, guys and down the hill and everything, or I think after, he tells them that they're trespassing and that, they need to come back with him. And so that would, him saying trespassing kind of, and that would make sense as to why they wouldn't release any more audio if he's talking, because if that's what he's saying, like, hey, you guys are trespassing, and they release that to the public, then public's going to be like, boop, law enforcement, some kind of law enforcement figure. And that is just not going to help them at all. So that's always kind of been my opinion on that. What, what do you think?
As far as like a red flagging. Yeah, for me, all the things that law enforcement is saying in this case just makes it even more mysterious, and it's just weird. It just makes, I always say, I can't ignore my own gut instinct. My red flag goes up and I'm just like, whoa, like what are they hiding and what do they know? And even to say here at this point about a 43 second, is it 43 seconds or not? We cannot release that, but now obviously we know it from the search warrant.
Yeah.
But what's the problem with saying, yes, it's 43 seconds?
Yeah. Great question. Wow. Very great question. And thank you, Copper Horse. Yes. And I will definitely put that in the details at the end of the video. So it'll be right at the kind of towards the top in the description. So if anybody has any tips and stuff like that, but so we're getting almost to the halfway or the half hour mark. What any other thoughts about the case?
So also, just to clarify, I'm not like literally saying it's definitely Doug Carter or one of the police officers. It just might be someone that has law enforcement connections. Someone who's buddies with the cops. I mean, if we look at Edmund Kemper, a prolific serial killer, he was buddying up with all the cops, having beers with them, and he literally called and like, oh, by the way, I just killed my grandmother, and they thought he was joking. Like, oh yeah, right. So it could be someone like that, where they're just like, whoa, like, no, it can't be this guy. How can it be? Because he's friends with all of us. You just don't know. It feels like it could be connected somewhere. So somewhere in this web, the clients, there's a web, and then law enforcement, and then whoever's behind, as he says, all these two sketches and things.
Yes.
But I really hope we'll find out one day. I hope it's not a cold case. I really hope there will be justice for Abby and Libby, because just the nightmare of thinking of it just being an unsolved or cold case. Wow. No.
Yeah. Do you think there's DNA? And what are your thoughts?
I do think so, because I've watched, all the interviews, and Tobe Lesmy said there's DNA, and Robert Ives said there's DNA. So I'm like, okay. And here and there, Doug Carter kind of alludes to there being DNA. So yeah, I do think so, which is interesting too. Although, what is it about the, I think that's just leaked things and rumors of them saying there's only familial DNA found. That's also interesting. That's like a whole thing. Wow. And that could be complicated either way, not throwing shade at the family or pointing fingers at them or anything. It's a large family. There's lots of extended family members. We looked briefly at Cody Patty, who just got out of prison at the time, 4 days before. So it could be familial DNA, speculatively, for a second. At this point, we have to consider everything, actually.
Yes.
Literally everything, because we just don't know, as Doug Carter always says.
Oh, good question, Salo. You go first. Do you think there was more than one person? Go ahead, Gisela.
I really do. That's just based on gut instinct. In my opinion, I really do think, even if Bridge Guy was like one person on the bridge, I just feel like the feeling I get is like this group even waiting down the hill. I don't know why. It just feels like it could be more than one. So if they're saying Bridge Guy and the sketches and all that, sure.
Yeah.
But it feels like there's some weird vibe with the group effort some way, which could also be really strange for DNA or evidence. It could really mess with it, especially if people were in the search party. Ooh, that's going to mess with it. Imagine if the killer or killers were in the search party.
Yeah.
Dang, and they probably would be if
Yeah.
they were that smart. They would, and then the DNA is like, wow, destroyed.
So my opinion, I think at the most if there was two people, I really think it's just one person, but I think if there was two, there was like maybe some kind of getaway driver, but that guy's buried in this guy's backyard and we'll never hear from him. And there's just
Right.
so because in my opinion, and just my opinion, I feel like the more people that would know of this crime, the more likely one's going to turn on the other or one's going to tell a friend. And I just feel like that just doubles the odds of the case, being solved.
Possibly.
So, but
The reason I
just
think
my-
it could be a group is because it's hard to control two girls, even if you had a gun. Sure, they were teenagers, 13, 14. They might have been really scared of just that gun, if it was speculatively a gun. But imagine if it was more of a group, it would be even more scary. To like make shifty eyes and for these girls to be like, oh my word, like what are we into now? If there were other people around. It would
yeah,
almost be easier to hide that. Like, oh no, we're all a group and we're walking them across the creek now, whatever it is.
yeah,
I don't know. It's just a theory.
yeah. No.
Yeah.
So let me just recap, just for those that might have missed the first part of the show, because I thought I brought up. Let's see. I just wanted to show. So anybody that's on the Ron Logan train, I wanted to show you guys that I dressed up as Ron Logan. And so, oops, let me go back just a little bit. So this is Ron Logan. I'm not sure if it's this interview or the other interview, but he was interviewed the day the girls' bodies were found. So he was interviewed on the 14th. So clearly, he had that beard or a mustache. So I thought I'd go out, Gorilla Glue a mustache to my face and see what it looked like. And this is from, and when you see me start recording, that's at 75 feet away. And they think that bridge guy was 70 feet from the girls. So I made sure I kind of went back a little extra just in case. So what you're seeing is me starting about 75 feet away. And I pixelated it. And as you can, and this would probably be about 70 feet away. And as you can see, you can clearly make out a mustache, in my opinion. I think most of us would agree.
Is there a reason that you like walk, in this pattern?
Yes, to catch different lighting.
Yeah, because it's interesting. It just makes me think, imagine if the guy on the bridge was actually kind of drunk. He would also be walking more confidently than usual, if he was snaking like that.
Yep. So why I did that is I wanted to make sure, because if you notice bridge guy, the left side of him is lit up and the right side is dark, because that's where the sun is. So now since I'm filming in June and this was back in February, the sun's going to be in a different spot. So I had to kind of really zig and zag to really get those right shadows going for him. But as you can see, he's got the sun to his left. Well, it'd be his right, but our left, and he's casting the shadow from his body on this side. So that's why I zigzagged. There's a few other things why I did that, but mostly to catch different shadows. But I think and then this is the other thing I just want to show you guys if you missed it. This is, in my opinion, what I think how he approached the girls and why the video is so short is I think that he has got the gun under the coat, not in the pocket, but under the coat, and he does this just seconds after the video, and that's what he does. He doesn't have it in the pocket. He doesn't have it in the fanny pack or the hoodie. It's just ready like that, in my opinion. So if you guys missed the first part, I would definitely highly check it out. I got tons of research. I got more research coming out. One last thing I'll touch on. If you guys missed the first part, I explained why the video is so compressed and why when I took an iPhone 5, the same exact phone that Libby had, filmed from the same exact distance, and why I had no problem with pixelation. as you can see. This is 75 feet away, and you can see me pretty good. And the reason why, let me go to the video. Videos here. Okay. And the reason why you've got all this stuff going on is because Libby had reset her phone recently. And when you do that, when you're uploading to the cloud, there is a selection you have to select, which is, where is it? I'm looking for it. Oh, it's on the next one. But there's a little button you got to select, and that causes it to upload to the cloud at the same resolution. And unfortunately, when she must have reset the phone, she didn't click that or forgot to and just didn't have time. So I can say with almost 100% this video was taken from the cloud, not from the phone, even though they said they recovered the phone. Maybe it was broken. But this video was clearly taken from the cloud. And that's why it's got all this compression. Is unfortunately it was resetted. It wasn't clicked. There's a button that you click where it says upload like original, and it keeps the resolution. But unfortunately that did not happen. So with that said, any final thoughts, Gisela?
I was just thinking that the reason I also think it could be a group is because of the stuff that Kegan Kline was into, and possibly his dad. That seems to be sort of obvious, even though he's not admitting to it. Just because you don't know what those types of people, who they're connected to, and what sickening things they would pay top dollar for. So if it was like a snuff film or something, oh man, that's terrible. But it could be something like that.
Yeah.
And imagine with a VPN or something like that, if they were streaming something or whatever, it would be really, really hard for law enforcement to track. I feel like a VPN would be law enforcement's worst nightmare. In this case, possibly. It's one little avenue. Think about sometimes.
Yeah. I'll have to look up VPNs back then, because that I think they were introduced around that time. So yeah, you're not wrong on that. Paula, thank you so much for the $20 donation. You are so awesome. Thank you so much, sweetie. So just read a few comments before we go. Absolutely outstanding work, Chris. Thanks to Gisela for bringing us here. We must keep talking about this. Thank you. And thank you for all your donations. I am so honored to have Gisela on. She is so awesome. She's been helping me behind the scenes. She is amazing. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Take all the compliments.
Oh, you deserve it. You're so cool.
Thank you.
And one more thing. Oh, so let's see. Anything? I just want to make sure. Yeah, we got over the missing. So yeah, we've covered everything. Awesome. So
nice.
You're gonna be going live. Are you going live tomorrow?
I'm not. I haven't got anything planned until Sunday again. But
really,
we'll talk behind the scenes. Maybe we can go live on my show.
I'd be honored to.
Sometime, talk about these reenactments you did. It would be so great.
Yes, I've got, like I said, 10%. We just looked at 10%. Actually, let me just show you guys real quick before we go. Can I do this without? Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, I can. All right. At the stream. Okay. Just to give you guys an idea of how much I've been going out and filming.
Whoa.
Oh wait, nope, that's not the one. That's my backup one here. Okay. So iPhone 2 these are all videos, all different runs. Every single one of these are runs. And our iPhone, all of these are different outfits and runs.
Wow.
So I'd probably have got 40 runs, wearing different stuff. Like I said, I'm really trying to do as much as I can to help anybody out with some kind of reenactment and what he's wearing. I'm really just trying to look at it all angles. But yeah, so this is kind of what it looked like with the bridge. But like I said, there was a few reasons why I didn't show the bridge, and I showed the parking lot, but we'll get into that another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says I need a hobby. I know.
Oh, come on. Snarky. I guess it's snarky time right now.
Yes. And Steve, I did get you some stuff. Steve wanted me to do a few things when I went out and filmed, and I did that for him. So I can't wait to help him with that. So
nice.
And Michelle, one more comment. Thank you. Great job, Chris. Thank you for your hard work on the case. Love you. And Gisela.
Thank you,
Michelle. You are amazing. Everybody in here is amazing. I really appreciate the love and support. This community is the best, especially when we got a mob of grizzlies.
Yes. The mob of grizzlies. We got more of them over here.
Yes.
Yes.
So, all right. With that said, Gisela, I just want to say thank you for coming on, and we'll love to have you on again real soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's very nice to be here. Your community is very kind and respectful as well. That's what I like my community to be too.
Yeah, it's an honor. Absolute honor.
Blend. Yeah, thank you.
So, all right, Gisela, you have a great day. We'll see you behind the scenes. So
yes, VIP party time. Bye, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will be going live in a day or two. And I've got the Brandon Larson case video coming up, and I'll be working with Jason Watts, and I got a few other projects, and then of course tons of this footage and tons of stuff for members. I've got tons of stuff that will be coming out for the members real soon, so I can't wait to share for you guys. And Jennifer, I still have not seen your email. Please get a hold of me through my Twitter account if you can. Message me. So with that said, guys, have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon.